Moon introspection for Sherryena. I'm got to use the Sacred Spirit reading card for you. There's 3 cards here. Let me lay them out. Allow your universe. Meditations. The last one is Soul Fragment. Oh, let me go to guidebook and see what specific message has for you here. Allow your universe. Whatever you do with your life, are you aligned to your universe? This universe speaks the frequency of universal love. If wherever you do for yourself, your body, mind, heart, and souls, if nothing is aligned to this universal love, that means you need to introspect what it is that you're not having this universal love. Perhaps there's too much negative emotions. Perhaps there is too much fear. Perhaps there's too much personal gain that are not serving your greatest good, and so forth. So this is something that you have to introspect in your everyday life, how those 4 aspects of your life are not related to the universal love. So another word, universal love, is meaning unconditional love. If you're conditioning too much in your life, that means you're moving away from that unconditional love. That doesn't mean that you need to go to extreme giving unconditional love, even though the other, whatever the situations, people, or environments are causing you to condition your life. Even a simple of over-compromising people's darkness is still move you away from universal love. That is something for you to think about, okay? Let me move on to the meditations. Require persistency when it comes to improvement. I'm wondering what's that mean. Is there specific meditations? Let me go to a guidebook. This is not too clear. It's not directly about meditations. Something changes are taking place. I think it's trying to talk about this. I don't think it's the meditations that the card is trying to say here. It's more like, how are you changing yourself? Is it really improving you, or it's taking you to a downward path? I think that's the intention of this card here. Like, wherever you're holding on to is changing you. Whatever you're experiencing through in this lifetime is also changing you. So it's a form of attachment. So is this really serving your greatest good, or is only creating more negativity for yourself? When I say creating negativity, it could be emotional negativity. It could be changing the way you perceive life in a negative way as well. Every day you're experiencing something, right? It doesn't matter who you're interacting with or whatever life situation, including upheaval, or it could be something feeling good, or maybe you find something, a happy moment for short term. So even a sample of codependency of something to make you feel good on the outside, to feed on that good feeling on the inside. So I hope you see where that codependency is coming from. So I hope you can go back and introspect the pattern that you create for yourself to see where they are not serving your greatest good. And I feel like it's the word improvement. It's kind of tricky. It could be a positive improvement. It could be a negative improvement toward yourself, So how persistent are you in those patterns? So, and that's what this is trying to tell you. And I'm just picking up that they're not always serve your greatest good. So therefore it's not allied to the universal love as well. And let me move on to the last card, Soul Fragment here. Balance will be restored. It feels like, if you look at not aligned to universal love, and then some of the improvement are not serving your greatest good, what do they cause you? To cause you to be imbalanced in your life, you know, because you have to understand, Sherryena, there is a thing called what is natural to your soul and what is not natural to your soul. A lot of things in this society, eh, are created by humans. So they have their own belief. They have their own what do you call that? Like too much artificial creation. You see what I mean? Like how can they extract stuff out of the nature and we create it to something. You probably hear a lot of, oh, there's a lot of processed food out there. They're not whole food. They just extract something and put it in somewhere else and feed it on, sell it in the society. How good is that to you? People are having sickness, why now it's why is there a lot more sickness than before. No one ever questioned about those human creation that are so artificial. It's not coming from our true nature anymore. So you need to understand about this. What it is that you're attaching, what is it that you're moving away from universal love, what it is that you're trying to improve in a negative way, instead in a positive way that needs to be tied back to the universal love. So that's where this imbalance is causing you all this chaos, all this turbulence, all this unhappiness, why there's always this unsatisfactions, dissatisfaction, why there's not having soul fulfillment. So if you listen to your soul a lot more to understand where your soul truly coming from, and that will going to help you align to this universal law. That's going to help you to discern how much negativity that you're attaching to yourself. Negativity can come from so many forms, but I can assure you that it's really tying back to your negative emotions as well. Wherever you think, how you perceive, how you narrow your perspective in life, and what kind of thing, what kind of gratification that you might be having that are, encouraged by human artificial creations out there. All those influences that cause you to deviate from all those true natures, to cause you the soul fragments. So, and this is something that all these three cards I'm seeing, they're all tied back to the same thing, but it's up to you to discern in your life. So the more you can introspect in that, the better inner awareness you will have in your life. And may you find light in these readings. And I'm glad to end here for you. These question readings. I'm going to use the Twin Frame Ascension deck for you, and then Heart and Souls. I'm going to use the Twin Frame Ascension deck for you, and then Heart and Souls. Set, acknowledge, take responsibility. Usually when I use Twin Frame Ascensions, that's already affirmed that you're on Twin Frame journey, Jennifer. It is not that easy, right? For this type of journey. Perhaps there's some misconceptions. Perhaps not understanding why you're on this journey. It is about learning unconditional love. And you have to take responsibility over the way how you felt. Perhaps you're still being stimulated by life situations, specific life events, triggering quite a bit of negative emotions out of you. So yeah, I think you acknowledge your feelings. I think you acknowledge your pain. Heartbreak is painful. We all have to go through that, wherever we experiencing this maybe more than once, not understanding why this pain hurts so much, why love hurts so much. But I can tell you that because of the darkness in humans, that's why love hurts so much. Because the love that we are trying to obtain on the outside, it's not pure. When that love is not pure, when your intention of love isn't pure, that's why it hurts so much. Why your love isn't pure, Jennifer? Because you haven't take responsibility over your negative emotions. Once you do that, then you realize you need to heal those negative emotions. So that way you don't have to keep attaching those negative emotions. So that way you don't have to keep practicing those negative emotions to live this lifetime. Yes, you do have past life. This is not the first lifetime. That's what I'm getting from your spiritual guardian to warn you to acknowledge that. It is not about believing in reincarnations. Why do you suddenly born with negative emotions in this lifetime, Jennifer? It's because you have past life karmas that haven't been healed. They carry forward at your soul levels. That's why you're just so stimulated by those life events to trigger those negative emotions out of you. It's at your soul level. It's at your subconscious level as well. It's really depend how much triggers that you're experiencing so far. And what have you done in order to reduce, in order to release, in order to heal. So you have to understand the bigger pictures being on this twin flame journey. It isn't about loving your twin flame. It isn't about romanticize the twin flame. It is more about acceptance. It is more about embrace the love that is pierced in the pierced form. It is in the universal love forms. It is not the type of love that have been advertised or have been taught by whoever that you allow the influence to get to you, to attach the love. Because if you do that, if you continue to allow those influences, they continue to rob your self-love. They continue to block you from igniting the self-love from the universal love. Another term for universal love is unconditional love. You need to go back to how have you conditioning your life. Perhaps family. Perhaps you observe them. Perhaps you have idea of love that is not from the pure form of love. Sure, they do talk about true love, but they don't understand, oh, true love come from judgment. True love come from anger. True love come from insecurity. True love come from worry. Do you hear those negative things that I'm attaching to those true love? Sure, there is true love between two people, but they also attaching to negativity. How is that going to be true love? It's not pure love anymore when you attach to negativities. So I hope you understand why darkness in love never works, why it hurts so much. And I'm not just talking about romantic love with a twin flame, but any type of love, even with family members, with friendship, with co-workers, and so forth, with even with strangers that you don't have really, knowing each other's, but yet you can judge that individuals just the way the person looks, just the way the person behave, just the way the person say things. Then you can just, so you might call it naturally or maybe normally, to judge that individuals. And that is not coming from universal love. And that's how your love has tended all this time, not just this lifetime, but past life as well. It's continued to encourage in a negative way, right? It's called negative reinforcement. Perhaps you heard of this term already, right? Letting go is not that easy. It takes a lot to release that negativity, that negative emotion, that negative value, that negative norms, even culture can divide you, can separate you from the human form, the natural human ways that I'm talking about. There is no such thing as multi-humans on this world. There's only one type of humans. But people use, the image, value, norms, culture to divide us, to create multiple type of humans race. So I hope you realize it, how your universal love has been damaged by all this conditioning. It is up to you to acknowledge it and take responsibility to heal yourself. Nobody can do that for you, Jennifer. It is up to you to determine what that is, to let that go. It is based on what you practice, right? It's based on what you believe. It's based on what you have normalized throughout this entire lifetimes, okay? Yes, there are a lot of things that you need to declutter. There are a lot of garbage that you need to let go. It's not that simple as just saying the word "I let go," but you actually doing it from the inside out, not from the outside in. And that's where the awareness, crystal clear vision, is coming in. How much inner awareness are you having? When you're having emotional trigger like that, as feeling depressions, wherever that is, and you know what's triggering you, and go back why you're having this heartbreak. Someone caused you to have this heartbreak, or you're holding on to this particular false belief about love to continue these negative feelings that you are attaching to, cause you not unable to ignite this self-love. So I hope that the more you're aware of what's happening, the more you can do something about it. That inner awareness. If you're having divorce, it's not going to be any difference, right? Yeah, the codependency of love from another individual's inflicted, right? Doesn't matter how many years that you have been through with these individuals. It's just that you've been living in this codependency of love, and you're unable to ignite the self-love you so need. If you have this pure form of self-love, doesn't matter if it's a divorce, doesn't matter if this person died, doesn't matter if this person have done something so bad to you, it's not going to change the way how you can love yourself. It's going to take time to grieve. I'm not going to say that it won't. Yes, I already picked that up already about cheating. It's going to take time to heal because of the trust, because you gave your whole life to these individuals. It's rather heavy thing. It is a dark night of your soul at this moment. Doesn't mean that you weren't able to heal, Jennifer. It takes a little baby step. Can you see this as a beautiful life event for you instead of judging him, instead of judging his behavior, instead of judging his lies? Can you forgive him? Can you open your heart and soul to forgive? Forgiveness is one of those greatest positive emotion to have. Having compassion for yourself and this person is also one of the greatest positive emotion to have. Can you start to love yourself a little bit at a time, Jennifer? Not to rely on anything on the outside to make yourself feel good? Can you learn to release that sadness that you have, the pain that you have? Or it takes us a little bit effort every day whenever you have these emotional triggers, Jennifer. Little self efforts goes a long way. And don't judge yourself. Don't judge this pain that you have. It is okay if you feel it every day. But making sure you understand, I'm forgiving this person. I'm going to open my heart to have compassion for myself. And I'm going to learn to love what is universal love so I can ignite this self-love for myself. You don't need to think, Jennifer. It's about going within your soul to feel what is your soul it's feeling. It is intense because of their past life with these individuals. It's not the first time it's happening. This karma in this relationship, it needs mending. But you have to mend yourself first. So wherever judgment, I'm picking up arguments in the past with these individuals. This judgment is quite strong and is still there. If you ever going to talk to this individual again, there is still this judgmental mind from you toward him, and that's need to be let go. And I'm sensing anger as well. This is not just pain, Jennifer. Anger. It's easy to say that I forgive this person, but that anger can turn into resentment. It depends how you move on with your life. Moving on, it's not that simple. When you still carry this negative feeling toward these individuals, that level of feelings varies a lot, depend how the situation trigger you. So you have to be mindful, okay, of how that emotion is triggering you. It might not be directly from him. Other situation, other people can trigger that feelings too. And that means you haven't really let go of angers. You haven't really let go of resentment. That means you haven't really forgive. Forgiveness is not just toward a specific individual like this divorce, right? You might get upset with somebody else. Why is that? Because you're still attaching to that specific negative emotion. It's going to keep triggering you over and over again until you are willing to totally let go of wherever that angers, resentments. That's how you're going to heal a little bit at a time. It's not just about toward a specific individual. I hope you understand that. Sure, this ex-partner has the most impact on you, but it's also the little things that triggered by life events that build up over time to create the intensity of your negative emotions. The more you're holding on to this idea, oh, just forgive this individual, you will be fine. That's not it. And I just want to point it out to you why healing fails. Because your healing is too isolated. It's not universal. Isolated to a specific situation and individual, it's not enough. healing of a specific emotion require you could continue to release that whenever you're being triggered. Anger come from resentment, come from grudge, come from dislike, so forth. I hope you hear the word that I'm putting in here. I'm giving you a different level of intensity that come from hate. As simple as hate, anger, resentment, dislike, preference toward a specific individual, and that could cause you to continue to reinforce this specific negative feelings. So be aware of that. So I'm just giving you some awareness, but you have to dive right into your inner world to feel that intensity. Which one am I talking about here? You need to identify it yourself, making sure you can tie it back to wherever that life situation had triggered you for that. And I hope this will bring clarity of what you need to do to heal. This is just an example of inner work. And of course, there are so many negative emotions that the human's way is practicing, that are practicing in this society. I mean, you should be able to identify them as you go. But let me move on to the next two cards from this Heart and Soul deck here. Do not give in to fear and doubt. Courage is called for now. Face your fear. Look at things objectively. You are safe and all is well. Fill your fear with love. Beyond fear, love is guiding you, urging you to break free. You will succeed. This is a beautiful message from your spiritual guardian. It is with you through this healing journey, Jennifer. Don't ever give up on yourself. Yeah, it takes efforts, It's not that simple to heal. Sometimes it takes decades to heal depressions, you know. But that's okay, Don't set yourself a goal. Don't set yourself a timeline. The more you think about it, the more you move away from your inner world to feel your negative emotion. That's what you need to do. Is dive way into feel. Use your intuitive ability to feel. Don't block that intuitive ability with your mind through your egos because you're so focused on your outside activities. Why not focus on your internal activity, that emotional turbulence that you're having, so you can do something about it right away? Don't move on. Don't sit on it. Don't defer it to make yourself feel good. Because we are living in a society encouraging fear, trap us in fear. That's why we're in a fear-based living. But you can reverse this, just realizing what you're doing that is tied back to fear, even doubt. You have this inner strength to pull out this courage. Always let unconditional love guide you. If you're conditioning love in your life, stop right there and reflect, what is that conditioning you're applying yourself to, so you can undo it with unconditional love. This is the last card for you. You might not be aware of it yet, but a tapestry full of positive outcomes and spiritual blessing now permeates your aura. The gray clouds have lifted, replaced by soft radiant light. The past will soon be behind you. Let it go and embrace the positive times ahead. This is about the future. The more inner work that you do to heal your negative emotions, the more you will be alive to this card message. Heavy step of the way, it's a blessing to you. Heavy life events that trigger you are a blessing to you. So embrace all those life situations that you have to deal with. Look at the bright side. They are here to trigger your darkness so that you can have the awareness to not only acknowledge it, then you can take the responsibility to heal yourself. And this is the end of your reading. May you find light from your spiritual guardian, and I hope this helped you. Question for Chanel is basically asking about a third party. Well, this third party is going to cause drama. for you. Her name is Raven, okay? And you think that this guy that you're interested in is your twin flame. I'm using this deck here. Clover. You supposed to be a blessing, but let me double check just to be sure it's not the reversal. It's about Chanel's happiness, about Raven's happiness. This so-called third party indirectly difficult opportunities. Despite the third party, it's difficult to you, but at the same time, it's also your opportunity to release certain judgment toward her. I feel like Chanel's that you're not seeing the higher purpose of this third party in your life, but your guardian saying that she is also your blessing. She is also a symbolism of your inner world, the way how you will specific situations and individuals. Your guardians want you to take advantage of that. Wherever that she is coming into your life, can you release those negative feelings that you have for her? That is something you need to ask yourself honestly. If you're saying no, why not? If it's yes, I have to say congratulations to you. You finally got enlightened by her coming into your life. Should I move on to the next card? Blessing comes in so many forms. Your guardian does not want you to judge life events, the one that you prefer or the one that you don't prefer. Your guardians want you to have this neutral attitude about your life events, whoever that you're with, whoever you're encountering. Whatever you're experiencing in life, it wants you to take advantage of what kind of emotional trigger that you are having. Each time you're having that triggers, so you can do something to release it. It is for your own higher benefits. The more you're releasing the negativity toward her, the more you're energetically moving away from that negative energy. This is the journey of not just for healings, but this is a journey of your soul ascensions to ignite the light, so-called unconditional love. For some reason, I'm sensing she is not the only drama in your life, Chanel's. Why I'm not sensing more dramas in your life as well. Perhaps they might be called upheavals. But I feel like you're being triggered by this individual because of this twin flame. You feel like it's a hurdle. You were trying to perhaps starting something. With this twin flame, it didn't go the way you planned it or the way you decided. So therefore, you start having this negative feelings toward this dark party. And it's trying to tell you something, your anxiety, the pain, why you're being triggered by this, because of your feelings toward this specific individuals. You're still practicing the negativity, the negative feelings that you haven't released, causing the anxiety that you're having. When someone tell me they have anxiety, that means you've been built up quite a bit of negative feelings for that particular individual, particular situations that even you haven't learned to release it. So like I said previously, the more you learn to release that negativity, the more you're energetically moving away those negativities. Remember, light attract light. The more you practice negativity toward that particular one person's, the more you're attracting that particular, light event back into your life. If you don't really want it, make peace with it. Have compassion toward the individuals. Send love instead of sending judgment. I feel like judgment needs to be let go. I feel like you're still attaching to that judgment. And it's hard for you to move forward to this journey, this new horizons. I feel like it is for you. It is your destiny, but then you haven't embraced this destiny yet. Whether you want to take off to this new journey, it's up to you to release that negativity toward that particular individual and situation, okay? Now, I feel like you understand the higher purpose, but you haven't dived deep enough to send your own emotion, how you're engaging in that negative feeling and energy to attract more of the same thing. It's up to you to dive into that, to pull out that detail in your inner world that I just mentioned. It's easy for me to say, but reflecting on yourself is challenging because your judgment get in your way. As long as you can let go that judgment toward that individuals, the drama is dissipating. You will see the beauty in this dark party. Perhaps friendship can be built from that as well. So, in other words, why see a human being as an enemy when you can see this human being as a friend? And I hope you can sense that universal love to these individuals in order for you to heal. Is there anything else about this detail card? This is the wishing wealth, and this is the compass, okay, about direction. But let me. And I feel like this worry that you're having, it's more like a past triggering you because of your negative feeling toward that individuals. You can sense love energetically. If the person doesn't want to hear from you, that's okay. But you can send love through your energy. And I hope you realize it, Chanel. Sometimes it's not about human to human, face to face interactions. It is more about the way how you feel toward the individuals. The more you let go that type of negative feelings, the more peace that you will find, the less that you're attracting that type of drama from the individuals. So I hope you see how it works here. It's not like the other way around. Oh, she's gonna come to my house and cause drama again. If you think that way, you're worrying, you're having fear, you're having headache, it's triggering more pain and even anxiety for you. So I hope you see all those negative feelings that I'm just mentioning, how they can create more anxiety and pain for you. So it's up to you to let that go, okay? When you do more self reflections, the more truth will come to you. So it's about using less of your brain and more of your intuition to dig deeper into your psyche, into your inner world. And that's what this well is all about. Dive deeper into the hidden depth. There's a hidden depth down there. Perhaps you're just scratching the surface. There's a statement here that's worth mentioning. Be careful what you wish for. Do not wish any negativity on other people's. And that's only come from your darkness. Sometimes you might not be thinking about it. Sometimes it has to do with your feelings. Energies not necessarily come from the thoughts. A lot of them are coming from the way you feel. The more negativities that you have, the more it's going to drain you, draining your vital energy, cause you sickness, like anxieties, mainly the anxieties. And moving on to the next card, the last one, compass. Help. I don't know why the word help comes to me here. Help yourself to take a different journey, to take a different directions in life. Perhaps your desires gets in the way. Your personal desires are not serving your greatest good, not guiding you to the right directions. So you need to reflect on your desires. What are they? Are they taking you to a negative path that you need to realize? If you forget your desires, perhaps write them down. Like the reason one, you desire your twin flame. Is it really what you want? To incite more darkness in each other's? Or you want to love yourself first? That's what I'm sensing here. How does this twin flame feel about you? Is it even worthy of that energy that you put in? Perhaps that energy that you put in needs to be questioned. Is this more naturally comes to you, or is this something more artificially? If it's an artificial energy, not coming from the universal love, It is very hard to reconcile with a twin flame. So this moment in your life is about reassessing your life purpose, your life goals, the direction that you want to take in this life. I think that only you can answer that, Chanel's. What is authentic to Chanel's? What does Chanel's really want that can help her see the truth, see the light, see the love in you to help you have the soul fulfillment that you need? It is a time to find your true north instead of stuck in the old patterns of when you think about drama, it's come from negative perspective. It is time for you to change that, Chanel. Change the way you perceive life situations. Stop labeling them as drama. You are manifesting drama for your own self. I don't think it has to do with these third parties. The more you think about life situation like drama, the more you're going to attract drama. Do you understand how you can manifest that through the way you perceive life situations? You haven't really let it go your judgments. You need to assess why you will life like drama instead of taking advantage of them and embrace them in a positive way to reflect on your inside. The more you can reflect on your inside, the more you can connect back to your negative emotion, the more you can do something positive about that to release those negative feelings that you're having. I don't think the drama it's just come for you. I feel like you're the one who create the attractions. So I think this has already answered the questions. Is there going to be more drama in the future? I think the question is more like you. Are you willing to let go your perceptions about drama with a life situation that you prefer or you don't prefer? I think preference, expectation are the culprit of you stuck in the feeling of, oh, this is dramatic. This is so unpleasant. All this negative vibe, the way that I'm putting in that statement for you, maybe you sometimes think about like that. Sometimes you say it in a different type of statement that sounds similar like that. But on top of that, your inner feelings, the way you feel, are continue to enforcing not only that feeling but intensifying that feelings and also intensify the way you view them in a negative way. I hope you understand that you're actually reinforcing your own negativity to trigger anxiety and also pain. So you need to catch your mindset, catch your feelings, turn that around in a positive way, okay? Especially your negative statement. Turn it into a positive statement and go within and feel, what you need to let go, right? So I hope this helped you, all right? May you find light from your spiritual guardian. Journal reading for Adreka using the sexy spirit, the deck inside deck, and the emotional card deck for you. Let me move this up here. You can see the card here. First one I'm getting here is your growth scares people. Is that good? But how come I'm seeing the word bad? It's the way Adreka feels, the way people feels, or just from the Oh, your spirit guide, okay? Your spirit guide thing. Oh, that's not a good way to feel about feeling good. That's the impression I'm getting. Why are you attaching yourself with this type of attitude? Feeling good. That's great. I'm growing. You guys are staying behind. Are you doing some sort of comparisons with people instead of embracing people with universal love? Adreka, that's something you need to ask yourself. Yeah, growing spiritually, it's great. Healing yourself, it's great. It's supposed to be a great feeling, but however, you don't need to compare with other people's. I think it's important that you understand that you have opportunity. You are at the light path. Why not give other people the same opportunity too? We all need to heal ourselves. You need to have a bigger picture. It is not just about you. When you're taking the light path, yes, you're lighting up yourself. You're at the same time lighting up this dark society. So that way we don't have to continue the path of the dark inheritance that the human race has inherited from generation after generations just because our ancestors chose the dark path. I hope that you can elevate yourself with a broader mindset, not to narrow to comparison. Comparison, it's not a good thing to have. Perhaps maybe you're aware of doing it, maybe you're not aware of doing it. Sometimes the tricky part is your attitude has underlying emotion that is triggering you to do that. You might not realize it. So I hope that you're diving deeper to feel that kind of feelings, how you perceive life in general, right? Let me move on to the next one. Your spirit guides are face palming. Seriously? I don't know. Is it particularly related to first card? Partially. No, yes. I feel like your spirit guide is like, okay, you did something positive for yourself, but at the same time, you're substituting with some negativity at the same time, which is not good. So your soul ascension recently, it's not purely done properly. So you need to watch out for that. And I already explained it to you on the first card why comparison is a culprit. And your attitude, it's not surrendering 100% as well to your higher purpose. Let me move on to the next one here. Your vibration is yelling, I will settle. What's going on? Settling for something that Adreka shouldn't have? Need to settle for more? Perhaps you think, perhaps your perceptions narrowing you. Perhaps you're trapping yourself in your own limitations. Perhaps you're setting yourself your own trap. Sure, it's great to be on the light path as long as you understand that you're healing yourself. So that way you can release negative emotions. So that way your negative emotion won't have to keep creating negative energy for yourself. So that way you can return your soul with true vital energy from the positive side, right? From the universal love, or you can call it unconditional love. But beyond that, if you're attaching anything toward that with this higher purpose, then you're really tending yourself on the dark side. So I hope you understand whatever you do. I'm not saying you need to be, oh, I need to be more cautious now. Caution, it's also a form of negativity, right? It's like triggering by the fear-based living. It is very easy for me to explain it to you, but actually doing it, it's very challenging because having one life path, it's very different. It's also involved complexity based on your past life, wherever you have carried forward in this lifetime. At the same time, this modernization has trigger quite a bit of complex emotion. You cannot just look at emotion like a singular type of emotion, because there are multiple type of emotion could be come from the same source of, such as fear. You can worry, that come from fear. You can hurry, that come from fear. You can feel insecure, that also come from fear. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? That there are fear can be a mixture of multiple negative emotions that are all mixed together. Whatever that drive your behavior, your thoughts, your feelings, why you react certain way, and so forth. Okay, that's the whole point I'm trying to make here. It's not that simple and just, oh, release the worry and that's it, and never think about, oh, I have this strong fear that drive my worry, because your fear is already mutated into so many different form of negative emotions. So yes, your spirit guide wants you to dive deeper into that complexity, that connection, okay? Look, you don't need to look at that as a complicated thing. Simplify it. Complication can also trap you in limitations. It's a form of negativity as well. Is there any more that I need to elaborate on that card? Okay, this is the anxiety or just too much coffee. Paranoia. Restlessness. Is there restlessness? More like sometime have some sort of dream. Is it what it come from? Anxiety, fear. Your spirit guide said it's coming from your fear. That's why you have this paranoia. Paranoid, another word. Is there something I need to elaborate about this fear? Something is hunting you in your dream. You haven't really dived deeper to decipher the meaning of your dream, but then you keep reacting to the dream. Does he have the consciousness of that? Yes, you do at the surface level. Perhaps you're not aware of the details. Perhaps it's too fake for you from the dream to really understand what happened. I feel like your spirit guide is giving you the word meditation. Perhaps you need to ground yourself. He's doing, is it she? Perhaps you're doing improper meditations. Perhaps you think that you need to open all 7 chakra or even beyond the 7 chakra, but you are not taking care of grounding yourself, especially when you have emotional turmoils triggering you. Your emotional turmoils is coming from negative emotions. When you try to open other chakras, what are you inciting? Negative energy. If you think you can just get away with meditation and that's okay, and that's not it, Adreka. You're manifesting more negative energy for yourself, for not grounding yourself. So you shouldn't be working on other chakra system until, not you shouldn't, but right now it's not a good idea. You need to go back to grounding, to your wood chakra meditation. I think you should know what wood chakra meditation is. It is about silencing yourself. It is about being still. It is not about thinking. It is not about gaining personal desire, asking for something. Your spirit guide is not a wishing well. Okay? Your spirit guide had its own purpose, okay? It protect your Akashic records. That's where I get your Akashic records coming from your spirit guide. And that's all I ever work for, to collaborate with. I don't work for them, but it doesn't matter. But anyway, okay, laugh all you want, okay? So, yeah, you need to work on, is it particular, at least 10 minutes, not 1 hour? You don't need 1 hour. Yeah, bingo, so I'm hearing it. Perhaps you're doing excessive meditations at one point in life. I don't know how often you're doing that. Just a couple minutes of grounding yourself. The more you practice on it, the better you're going to be. Eventually, you don't rely on meditation at all. I hope you're not codependent on meditation to get better. If you're doing that, codependent is, why am I hearing the word lazy from your spirit guide, okay? Perhaps you have a codependence or a quick fix. Codependence, I'm not saying you try to take shortcut, but I feel like you're just this feeling of the laziness, this feeling of codependency of something, like something, an external thing for you to help you. Oh, it worked. So therefore, you don't need to dive deeper to understand the purpose of meditations. Meditation can come many forms. It's not just like sitting there and listening to meditative music. Sometimes you could do silent meditation. Sometimes you could do some sort of yoga exercise. That's how people open up their Kundalini, thing. They just don't realizing it as well. So even simple of breathing exercise, a form of meditation, okay? So whatever that is you're doing, grounding yourself through root chakra, couple minutes per day. Like I said, I told you the purpose of that, right? But nothing else. So that way, if something is coming through, I'm not going to use the term great, then let it be. Try to see what that is. But it is a negativity. It is time for you to release that as well. You cannot just hold on to that negativity. Why do I feel like you're trying to get informations? That's not the purpose of this root chakra meditation. It isn't about getting information. It is more about clearing your color that you put on yourself, that you haven't learned to release them yet. It is temporary to put you on stillness so that way you can have clarity. It isn't about using your mind. It is more about using your soul at an intuitive level. It is all about inner sensation. It is not about using your body sensations. So you have to let go all your physical five sensations you have, and you should know what they are. Is there any more about this paranoia? So it's so you need to let go all the other meditation. It's not a good time for you to activate anything or continue intensify anything. If you need to burn sage, go ahead and burn sage to help you, so that way you're not continuing to attract those negative energy that you cause for yourself. It is all self-inflicted. Meditation is not for personal gain. Just be mindful of that. Your spirit guide tell me it's a warning. Anything else about meditations? Warning. No. Okay, should I move on to the last two cards for Adreka? Wisdom card. This is the emotional deck. Wisdom is profound understanding and insight, allowing you to see the essence of things. When wisdom enters your life, it reminds you to listen to your inner voice and find your own truth. Judgment get in your way. Your ego get in your way. Your way of living in a physical perspective of life, get in the way. And I already mentioned about past lives that you have. So that means your soul travel through life journeys after life journey. If you're still looking at yourself from a physical perspective of life, that means you haven't been awakening your spirit self at a spiritual level yet to gain this type of wisdom, to understand the truth of a matter. And I already mentioned about what's getting in the way. 3 types of things that I mentioned, and I hope you're listening to that. Is there any more to talk about wisdom? Uncertainty is the feeling of not being able to foresee the future, bringing anxiety and unease. When uncertainty appears, it reminds you to embrace what cannot be controlled. Trust your intuition and courageously face the unknown challenges, for the future will gradually become clear. So, because you're not surrendering to your life at 100%, Adreka, I already mentioned about surrendering earlier in the reading, and that's exactly what's going on. That's why you want to get information, you want to ask, you try to understand something. That causing, because this uncertainty, triggering by fear, triggering by anticipations. Having psychic gift, it's not about seeing the future. If it's come to you, then embrace it. When it comes to you, you can learn to try to decipher the truth of the matter without your ego, without your judgment. So that way you're not misinterpreting things, especially when you're involving with your own emotion to decipher something. It's a big no-no, your spirit guide saying. Emotions already tended you, caused you to misinterpret the truth. Truth have nothing to do with emotions, but the humankind love to use the emotion to see things, to perceive things. So therefore, they always have their own opinions about things. Oh, person A believe in this, person B believe in this, person C believe in this. They all 3 have their own opinion about the same thing they're looking at. They might looking at the apples. Oh, the apple has a yellow color. And then the other person say, oh, this apple smells, is smelly. And then the other person say, oh, I love apple, no matter what kinds of apple that is. Do you see it's all personal preference? What does that have to do with the truth about the apple? Nothing. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Own opinions come from personal emotions, come from personal preference. I like this, I don't like this. Do you hear the statement I'm giving you here? That's why you have hard time, because you have preference. You like this, you don't like this. I desire information. I need to foresee the future. I like my psychic gift. This is all personal desire. They have nothing to do with higher purpose. And I already mentioned about your higher purpose, right? From the earlier of the readings. I think you should know that. I always gave you a bigger picture of why being a light worker. Yeah, it's not only about lighting up yourself, but you're, this entire population come from darkness, 100% of it. A lot of them not realizing, maybe less than 1% of the population are really awakened like you and me. I'm a spiritual worker as well, so that's why I know so much, and I already ascended so far in advance, to understand stuff beyond stuff, so that's why I'm able to explain stuff to you that no other readers are capable of doing it in this world. So, Adreka, I hope that you have a bigger picture now. There's no need to be having this arrogant attitude. That's what your spirit guide is telling me. You need to apply universal love of all human beings. Doesn't matter how dark they are. Doesn't matter what kind of negative emotion they're practicing. We serve each other as a catalyst. So therefore, we create opportunity for each other. We trigger each other darkness. So therefore, we have the opportunity. It's up to the individual to do something about to heal themselves. If they continue to choose the dark path, so be it, okay? But on your hand, and I know you're not, but you understand you want to be on the light side, but do it for the right reason. Don't do it because, oh, I'm healed now. Too bad you guys at the bottom. Don't don't elevate yourself this way. There is no status when it comes to human being. We are all one human being. We cannot embrace that. And that's the culprit of why there's so much discrimination, so much hate, so much segregation based on culture, where we live, where we come from, based on status and so forth. I mean, you can name it. It's all around this world. That's why we still have war, because people just can't embrace, the true side of human being. So I hope that I always said enough beyond what your spirit guide want me to tell you, okay? I'm ending here. I hope this really help you a lot here, and may you find light from the spiritual guardian. Introspection reading for Marquis is from Let Go deck here. Just a couple cards. The first one, set your mind as a recorder. Let go of all negative, unkind replace and replace them with elevated sounds. So you need to work on what type of negativities that you are having so you can do something positive about them without suppression, okay? Or without diverting them. Especially when you're using some sort of activities to make yourself feeling good. That's what the version is about, like a substitutions. Second one, set your glass is always refillable, float like water instead of holding on to perceptions. It's meaning like what you're perceiving is not the truth of the matter, because you only see it through the way how you prefer or how you feel you want to see things. And that's why it's really hard for you to see the truth of all the matters. And it's just trying to tell you that you need to introspect on your perceptions. If you can let go the way how you perceive things, then you open up to all possibility, right? But if you continue to see the way you see things, that means you continue to limit yourself. And it's hard for you to have personal growth in this way. You will climb that mountain and then the next, which will bring great joy. Challenges, right? Climbing the mountain. It needs resiliency. It needs commitment. It needs determinations. Are you giving up too easy? Or are you just scatter yourself too much in different directions and makes you lose focus on something that is important about your soul, especially the one that can help you find soul fulfillment in this lifetime? So be mindful of that. I feel like this is a time to introspect on how to assess yourself. Perhaps put a pause, put a break on that. Not to scatter yourself, so that way you can refocus on what it is more important about your soul, right? I'm not talking about immediate gratification. I'm talking about your long-term soul fulfillment. You are supported and will have helpers whenever you need them. Let them come. Perhaps you're judging your life event too much, your life situation too much. Perhaps even the people that you encounter, whether you know them personally or not, perhaps you're judging them too much. Remember, things do happen to you, not the way how you perceive, right? In a negative way. See the bright side of things. Without things happening to you, how would you know what Marquis is? or what happened to Marquis so far that make up of who you are today. Perhaps there's something that you still need to look into about yourself that hasn't been serving your greatest good, right? Perhaps those behavior, perhaps those old patterns that it's time for you to introspect on them. It's time for you to decide, yeah, do you want to keep continue to doing that, or you want to make positive change for yourself? This is a last card. You are willing and able and won't give in or stop hoping. Enjoy your journey to love. Okay, this message is all about love, but you need to understand the type of love that you're practicing. Perhaps you have certain value the way you see love. Perhaps you have certain standard the way you see love. Is that really universal love, or you just tending your love with some sort of personal desires, certain darkness, certain expectation? All of those things that I just mentioned are conditioning the love that you are practicing, but that does not mean it's the purest kind of love. And if you ever wondering why love is so hard, why love is so painful, because the way you're practicing love that needs to introspect. I'm guided handed here. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. Chakra reading for Bridget here. I'm using the quantum oracles. Have 3 card position here from the living flame, which is your sacral chakra. We'll see how it's turning out here. It's going to be the yellow color. Am I right? It's orange. No. Should be the orange color. But let me double check. Yeah, it is. It's just the lower abdomen, just right above the root chakra here. It's about the creativity side of it. Just want to explain this to you, the basic about this sacral chakra here. The first position is desire, and it is cycle number 4, decrease. Let me see how it wants to interpret in the particular guidebook. I'm able to get to the page here. This is number 4. Okay, it's want me to do the reversal here. It's a talk about cycle. You're having many little cycles in your life. It triggers the way you feel. And it feels like you're not catching all of them. It feels like you're not understanding the purposes on all of them. And that's the significant piece of that. But you do have gift of sensing your own self. But that has been more stabilized. I don't like the term stabilized. It's more like you're. Can I channel a little bit? What's going on about her sensations? Her deeper sensation, it's good. Your deeper sensation is good. It feels like you have opened it up already to sense yourself. And I think that you need to go a little bit further to work on that, to expand what can you do with these deeper sensations. It's to improve your inner awareness of the purpose why you're sensing this. What is it about Bridget that she's sensing this? Can you translate that into an emotions? Can you translate that into an energy? Can you translate this sensation and connect back to wherever that is triggering that sensations? It could be something happen in your life, event that can tell you this, or it could be something in the past can, just as you're being when a mess when reminiscing something in the past can suddenly trigger the sensation inside of you. So are you able to connect back? Just thinking or feeling that past can trigger that. I think that is something that you need to work on beyond that sensation. How to connect it, all the pieces together for you to see a bigger pictures about you. Anything else about this particular card? Decrease. You want me to talk about? Is it on the guidebook, or you want me to channel the what does need to decrease? Slow down. She need to slow down. Is it because she didn't catch all her little cycles? Okay, why it's affecting my full chakra here? Bridget, can you continue to breathe? I'm feeling your throat is stuck. You have hard time speaking the truth. Your full chakra is stuck. That's what I'm feeling. Why is it? Fear. You're still afraid. You still not understanding the higher purpose of this journey that you're on. You're still letting fear, because coming from doubt. It is Bob again. Your twin flame is triggering so much. Are you aware of that, Bridget? You're still focusing on this, your twin flame counterpart, but you're not focusing on yourself. It is all about you, Bridget. It's not about your other twin flame. Do you understand? You can love who you want to love, but you cannot spend your entire life just focusing on that person and to live your life. I hope you understand that. Focusing on yourself is about healing yourself. I'm not saying to make yourself feel good. I'm I'm here to try to help you to understand what is universal love, why you need universal love. Your soul is always born with universal love, the unconditional love. That's the alignment to this universe. When your soul is not aligned to this love frequency, nothing is gonna happen to you in this lifetime on the light side of life. And that's why there's so much darkness in this world. And I think I've done enough reading for you to help you understand it. What is darkness in human beings? Why this world is so dark? Why people are continue to hold on to their own darkness? Why do they not want to ignite their universal love when their soul is born with that from the beginning? Just because they have been corrupted, destroyed by all this negativity, because our human ancestor chose that. That's why we all got infected, infected, being normalized, so called. But that's okay. But this path is trying to help you understand it when you're having all those little cycles to trigger your negative emotions. And you need to dive right into and do your inner work, to release it a little bit at a time. Do as much as you can, but don't be so hard on yourself, okay? I feel like, I think I mentioned this. I feel like you're being too hard on yourself, or sometime perhaps I feel like Bridget has transformed already. I feel like you transformed something, Bridget. You're different now. I feel like you want to focus on yourself, but I feel like you're just lost. I think because of the doubt triggering you, the fear, this insecurity, like hmm, like you feel like you're losing something so important. Like, am I able to get it back in the future? Is that it? Is it really over? Do you see how it's robbing your love? Do you see how it's like triggering you not to focus on your inside, but to cause you to focus on the outside? So yeah, it's okay, Bridget, as long as you're realizing this feeling, this sensation, then you can do something positive about that. Loving yourself require you don't need to feel safe to love yourself. You don't need to know the future to love yourself. If you can love yourself just this moment, just being here listening to this reading, can you just open your heart and soul just to love yourself with nothingness? Wherever you're hearing, wherever information you're getting, but that's okay, right? Just to expand your wisdom. But there's nothing more. But loving yourself takes a lot more than that. Loving yourself should come to you naturally. Loving yourself should have no conditioning. Loving yourself, you don't have to judge anything, anyone, including yourself, including your current life situation. Are you still viewing your current life situation in a negative way? Comparison is a culprit. I was like explaining that to somebody earlier about comparison. You are supposed to ignite your own love. You're supposed to release your negativity, and then you're supposed to ignite your own light, so you don't have to go dark. But then at the same time, comparing all the thing around you, all the people around you, like that is a culprit of getting you to stuck in certain standard, get you to stuck in normalization, get you stuck in expectation, get you stuck in value. If you can feel yourself not to compare anymore, your world, your inner world will feel so much lighter. It won't be so heavy anymore. Then you can finally start letting go freely without defining something out of that. Maybe that's why you're having hard time letting Bob go in a healthy way. You need to let him go in a healthy way, not in a way that causing you to fear. You know, Loving someone spiritually does not need to hold on to that person. You wish this person well, wherever that is, right? Wish this person with so much love. But at the same time, you can work on loving yourself first. Is there a particular thing about this decrease? Yeah, it's about letting those things go. That's what you need to decreasing. Your desires. Your desire is a culprit of that, because desire is so personal. If you can let that personal desire go and look at from the outside, within that, be an outside observer of your own life, so that way you can see a much bigger picture, so that way you are not trapping in your own personal desire. I decide this person. I decide this thing. I want this to happen for myself in the future. Blah 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 blah. You know how that personal desire can hold you back on releasing all those limitations, because you keep try to find out a way of how to get that desire, how to fulfill this desire, how to get that, how to achieve it. That's causing you so much limitation, unable to free yourself on a lot of things. So I hope that makes sense here. What you need to decrease, it's your personal desires. So that way you can ignite this universal love. Motivation will be the next card position. Optimism. So the reverse. What is the optimism? Or do you want me channels? That she's doing that, or she needs to do that? You need to have self motivations. She lacks some sort of motivation, or she using the wrong kind of motivations. You're using negative emotion to motivate yourself. I'm picking up the word lust. You still have hard time discerning the difference between lust and love. You're mixing true love with lust. So therefore the pure form of love is already hindered by lust. So you're working on this, releasing the lust, so that way you can move forward to this pure love. So it's easy for me to tell you this, but your guardians want me to tell you this. You're using one kind of motivations to fuel your twin flame journey. Can I elaborate how she's lusting? Physical possessions is a form of lust. People engaging in intimacy to feel good, and they think that physical feelings, it's called love, but not totally, because physical intimacy, that physical desire mixing with love. So therefore, the pure form of love is already tended by lust. So that's the whole point is trying to say here. I hope that you're understanding your true love is mixing with lust. So it's not a healthy form of love that you're practicing. Is there anything else? Codependency is another one. Yeah, rely on someone else respond. Oh, is he really giving me this love feeling? Is there some sort of romantic feelings, or is there some sort of like flowers, a gesture of, hey, show me some sign that you're into this romance with me. You see what I mean? I mean, it's not just about lovers, right? It could be love of family, it could be a love of friendship, it could be a love of things. Okay, you can apply that as well. I'm just using lover as an example here. So it's like holding on this response from that So you're using that external person like a stimulator for you. Do you see how you're codependent on those stimulations in order to feel the love that you desire? And that's called lust. And that form of love is already tended by the word lust. I hope you see. I'm just using the word is when you hear it, it's so general, but when you apply to a day-to-day life, and then you will open up to a lot of whole bunch of stuff and not realizing, oh, I'm mastering codependency is a form of lust. Relying on the stimulation on the outside is a form of lust. Even a gesture, a token, a gesture like, hey, give me a flower so I know that I'm feeling love for you. Okay, I'm glad you understand that. Okay. And that's what your guardians want you to work on, releasing that. Change the way how you motivate yourself when it comes to love, that you're not lusting. Okay. So let me move on to this last position, passion here. Happy success. This is an upway, reverse, upway, both. This is a passions, sacral chakra, creativities. So you have to understand your true passions. You cannot allow the lusting part of love to call that your true passion. Wherever that lust is, okay? I'm using it in a broader term now, not really applying to just lover, right? It could be anything in your life. So you gotta need to put yourself, in a bigger picture about this. So it's once you understand your true passion by removing the lust that I mentioned, then you will start to have clarity to understand, oh, what is really truly Bridget's soul fulfillment that will last forever without any conditioning, without any stimulations whatsoever. So I'm really trying you to get so deep down into drilling down to your soul blueprints. It's hard to get there. I know it takes some time. Don't give up on that. But you don't have to think about that either. Don't be so hard on yourself like, oh, what is my true passion? Am I having passion that's haven't been really my true passion? So for, I mean, that's been too hard on yourself. Okay. Let things come to you. And I feel like there will be revelation in this spiritual journey for you that gonna tell you something. It's gonna one day, and you will see that what is your true passions. But you mainly need to focus on those little cycles to help yourself to release all those negativities. The more you do that, the more clarity will come to you, and more revelation will come to you, and eventually, and you will realize, oh, it's really tied to your true passions. Is there something that I need to tell her as well? Everything is possible. It's not impossible. It's only your feeling. It's only your mindset. It's only your attitude. It's only your judgment make you think that it's impossible, or make you feel that it's impossible. But your guardian is saying that everything is possible. So just be mindful about that statement. It could be triggered by feeling, it could be triggered by the way you speak to limit yourself. So you need to be more optimistic about, whatever that is, about situations. Is there anything else? Congratulations. Your guardian is trying to tell me that you're not victimizing yourself any longer. So it is an affirmation for you, Bridget, that you have done something, finally done something. Is a type of soul ascension. I'm calling this, you're moving toward your soul vital energy, growing your soul vital energy, which is a beautiful thing. Shifting focus on yourself is a continuation of process, and you will get there to understand your true passions. That's what I'm getting. And maybe that's why this word said happy success. And that's why I've been telling you, don't be so hard on yourself, Bridget, all this time joining this reading. Yeah, it's your mindset thinking is long and hard. It's causing you heaviness. You're engaging in negative feelings. Are you aware of that, Bridget? Perhaps you're still defining this healing journey. Are you aware of maybe there's certain expectation you're having as well? That is robbing your self-love. You cannot ignite your own love this way, having this negativity to drag you down. Learn to see it like each moment of your life is beautiful and is worth cherishing. Even right now, it's worth cherishing to be happy. Can you be this person as happy as he is? Yeah, he is having so much light in his hand. That is abundance, beautiful, sunny field behind him. That is natural abundance in nature. They don't define success what that is. I feel like you should go out and celebrate. Bridget, do you hear your spiritual guardian say, congratulations, you're no longer victimizing yourself? It is a beautiful thing to celebrate, so that way you can feel more joy in this, so that way you don't have to be so hard on yourself. Open yourself to, yeah, there's plenty of cycle to do, but that's okay. Don't feel like it's a burden to you. Don't look at that as a task. We have to sleep is a type of task, but shouldn't be a burden. We have to hygiene ourselves every day, but we shouldn't look at that as a burden by cleaning our own body. So it's a beautiful thing. So I'm glad you did celebrate. So that's great. So let's celebrate every day as well, even though you have to go through all this work, those you call that shadow work, but I call inner work, but interchangeably. Even though you have to do all those inner work, but that's okay, the more you realize all this darkness that you have, and then the more you realize, yeah, you do need to go through all those release and healing, but look at that. That's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful for your soul. And each little step of the way is really help you to feel lighter and happier. And at the same time, you're doing it through loving yourself. And that you're deconditioning as well. And that's how you ignite your unconditional love. Is there any more that And I'm going to end it here. May you find light from this reading. Journal reading, since that's what you wanted. For Kayla, the Queen of Key here from the Akashic Tarot. And I'm glad you do, because some people just don't, and they just keep missing out the information that I tell them. So you see the Queen of Key. Happily looking over. This lady here dressed nicely, and she quite happy, like whatever that she's looking at. on top of the castles. Castles. So that is the energy that I'm getting, the positive energy from her, from this card. Is there any particular thing that I need to mention here? So I feel like this is probably resembles the way you're generally happy about life. So what is the next card here? Clean your womb. That's the message. Clutter is physically her womb, her house, wherever you live, wherever you use for work. In that regard, that type of environment that needs decluttering, it needs organizing. So it can create more energy to flow in that environment. Like a feng shui, when you have so many stuff in it, it's hard to flow your energy. It feels like stagnancy. And even the universe is trying to send you positive energy. It's gonna get stuck as well because all those clutters that you have around you. And I feel like it's hard for you to focus. Perhaps you're scattering your focus. It's hard to finish what you're setting out to do because of all the scattering. It's making Kayla to get stuck at certain tasks, certain work. It want me to say certain work. Whatever the task, like you might require multiple tasks to complete the work. So yeah, it causes you to get stuck, unfinished. And it's also sometimes obstacle in that as well. So I hope you see why decluttering is important in organizing them. But while you're doing that, you need to ask the intention of each of those items. How are they serving your greatest good? But of course, before you do that, you need to understand your goal, right? I'm sorry, like life goals, immediate life goal, intermediate life goal, long-term life goals. How each of the items is associated in any of those category. I think that will be important, right? Before you even declutter them or even to organize them. Do you need that, or do you need to fold it away, or maybe you got something that isn't good for you as well? Maybe you buy something old and might not be realizing it, and it doesn't help me at all. So why am I keeping it here? Why even buy it from the beginning? Perhaps there's some emotional triggering you to buy it and not realizing the emotion size, right? It's not serving your greatest good. So I feel like that's what the introspection is while you're doing that cleanup. Anything else? Is there next time? Different deck. So this is the end of her journal reading. Is there additional thing that I can give her? Okay, I'm guided to give you a divine reading here, okay, just to replace the first gift that you gave me. Any more card for Kayla? Divine reading is an excellent reading to help you to do inner work. Any more? This one. Any more cards? This is on the guardian angel card here to continue. About the guardian angel, which is your spiritual guardian, or you might call it spirit guide. You have at least one guardian angel who lovingly oversee all the events of your lives. I'm using pearls, okay? It's not only this lifetime here. And you want me to say, what do you want to say, guardian? Spirit guide? Okay, want me to use the term spirit guide. Spirit guide is a messenger of light whose divine mission is to protect and guide humanity along its sacred journey. Its love for you is unconditional, so no matter what you do or don't do, you are always worthy of its love. This is an affirmation here. Be aware of your language and thoughts. The most powerful statement you can ever make, think, or feel is thank you. Be grateful for all the blessings in your life. As you acknowledge the divine order of life, the universe responds with ever greater blessing. You are a powerful creator, but it want me to replace it with a word manifester. All you say and think resonates through the heart of creation, and creation responds accordingly. So, creator and also a manifester. Not everyone has such a gift as a manifester. So, Kayla, just help me breathe, relax, don't think, let go personal desires. I'm feeling like heaviness here. Don't manifest. It's yes, with such a gift, but however, don't manifest, especially when you're trying to heal yourself, because you're still attaching yourself with negativities. When you use such a gift, you end up using your own negative energy to manifest more negative energy, which is not a good thing, okay? But I just now, whiles ago, picking that up heaviness through you. So the next card, action. Drop all fear and just do it. You have the power to create and be wherever you truly want. Look inside your heart and take positive action in those things that bring you closer to achieving your desired goals. Nothing can stop you except your own fear. This card is positive confirmation from I don't like to use God and angel, but from your spirit guide that the time is right for you to start a new and exciting venture. So I feel like you need to understand your goals, right? For this journal reading about decluttering, if you understand your true passion, if you understand your life purposes, I'm using Pearl here. I feel like you have multiple life purposes in this lifetime. And and it's something for you to discover that through this clean up, then you can really do something about those desired goals. But right now, there's some uncertainty about those desired goals. Are they serving your greatest good? Are they not? Do you need to toss them away and reassess what is your desired goal for this lifetime? I think that is the most important key here before you really need to do anything about that, okay? And I'm not allowed to answer a question through this type of readings. But if you would have a need a question follow up, then feel free to submit a question reading later on. Okay, but after the readings, acceptance. There is nothing about you that you need to fix. Reclaim the disowned part of you that yearns for love and acceptance. You are beautiful just as you are, regardless of any faults you might perceive you have. You are an eternally radiant being of light. Accept all that you are and just be you. When you truly accept yourself, your whole world will magically, lovingly transform. So I feel like don't blame yourself. Blaming is come from negative feelings like, oh, am I not perfect, and I'm getting this low self-esteem as well. It kind of affected your self-esteem as well. So so don't beat yourself up. Like, whatever happened to you in your past that made you what you are today, there's something beautiful about that journey. And I feel like, yeah, they do trigger your darkness, but that's the only way to learn about your darkness, right? If you're not being triggered by that life journey, to help you understand what happened to you in order to do something beautiful about that. So I feel like that's what it is. So yeah, your soul is come from the light, never come from the dark side. It's just the human ancestor chose the dark side to practice negative emotion, as simple as jealousy. So yeah, it's been a while, to normalize those negative feelings. But here it just saying that, yeah, embrace acceptance are part of this journey, but at the same time realizing what happened to you in a much more broader sense, right? To help you, yeah, it's not a permanent thing. It's only a temporary thing until you learn to heal, you learn to release them a little bit at a time. Yeah, judgment, it's because it's come from your past experiences. You use that past experiences to learn how to judge, to form your own opinions, just not realizing that. But that's okay. But you learn to let that go little at a time. That's how is a part of the healing process. And so that way you can return back to your light. Your soul has this sea of light. The more you heal, the more you ignite this light. And this light is connected to the universal love, the universe, how it is supposed to immune those universal love to all around us. But unfortunately, the humans practicing negativity. They don't want it, so therefore it kind of bounces back, to universe. I don't want this. I want this negative energy that I'm practicing. So therefore, that's what I'm saying. Don't manifest, until you're clear of what it is that your goal supposed to be, right? Your life purposes as well, through this cleanup. And let me move on to the next card here. Believe this card. Be open to all possibilities and opportunities. Let go of preconceived ideas. There's nothing to fear. You are constantly surrounded by love. Stop to believe in yourself and trust your instinct. Wondrous possibilities and opportunities abound, provided you are flexible and retain an open heart and mind. Believe is all possible. So yeah, because you're living in a fear-based living in this dark society through the human ancestor, unfortunately they normalize, fear is normal. Fear-based living is normal. That's how it is. That's how the entire societal system is built from. If it's not because of fears, then it won't hold, right, the society together. So that is the culprit of that. You have to identify how fear triggering you in so many ways. Triggering you fear-based living can trigger you worry. Could be financial. I mean, you worry about that. How am I supposed to be independent if I decide to leave this person? Am I able to be independent, and so forth? You have this fear. So you want to anticipate your future. Will I be have a safer environment, so forth. All this type of worry, even hurry also makes you fear life situation, and sometimes won't allow you time, the the luxurious time, at your own pace. Sometimes it just push you to do the unthinkable thing. So you see how hurry come from fear as well, you know yeah, so it's not good, it's driving you, it's only trap you into more fear over fear because of other negative emotion are playing at you, influencing you to encourage more fear in your life. So also belief system, is another culprit of that. Believe that certain value, believe in certain norms, believe in certain cultures, and all of that can also trap you into limitation, so you weren't able to open up to all possibilities and opportunities. So idea is another culprit. If you're getting ideas somewhere since you're young, ideas of love, ideas of life, ideas of retirement, and so forth, also, trap you in limiting yourself, so you weren't able to experience or even explore all possibilities and opportunities in your life. So that's something to really help yourself to introspect on that and to reflect on that. Yes, it takes time. You got it. Don't push yourself too much. I mean, everything takes divine timing to get the right trigger. You're not triggered by it. How would you know that, hey, it's time for me to work on this? Okay, this card say blessing, love, light, blessing. Through this card, you are being showered with angelic light. It is from your spirit guide. Accept the blessing about to come your way and know that you deserve to be and have all your heart desires. You are being lovingly guided along a golden path, a magical journey through which you shall discover your true essence, the infinite and eternal you. Congratulations. So I think this is a very beautiful message from your spirit guide. I think hot desire. I have to reference this again. You see, I'm pointing this card over and over. Okay, it's tricky to have hot desire when you don't even know your true passion, when you don't even know your true life purposes. Okay, I think you do partially, but not 100%. But that's okay. But this is about diving into your unknown to discover who is Kayla. You know what beside healing, what my other life purposes is. Beside focus on myself, what is Kayla life purposes, and so forth, right? So I just want to point it out because I don't want you to take it so literally about hot desires without even thinking about, hey, too much clutters. This might not be the truth, right? Stars. Believe in yourself. You are a wonder of creation. Wash away all fear and discover you are a shining star. Allow all around you to just be. Let go of trying to control life, for the light of your soul will guide you always toward love. Remember, stars are born through explosion of love. Love illuminates all things. Never forget you are truly a shining star. I think it's about working on releasing your fear-based living and turn that into a love-based living. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit efforts every day, so it goes a long way and it will accumulate a lot. And on top of that, yeah, you do have inner guidance. So why do you need to be in fear? Why do you need to worry? Why do you need to hurry to engage all this, to trap you in fear over and over? Okay, I feel like you need to listen to your inside a lot more about the guidance. Okay, it is not so much about getting reading guidance. I think there's a special guidance in your life that you need to dive deeper to sense what that is, so you can decipher happily whenever it's coming through your way, whenever you're getting signs, wherever you're getting higher calling and so forth, wherever that is. So this is the last card for you. Balance. Difference is a necessary part of human evolution, and everything in life is comprised of opposites, which together make life whole. If you light a candle in a room already flooded with light, the light of your candle could be indistinguishable from the light which already exists. Because of darkness, we are able to perceive light. Both are necessary. Through darkness, then you learn to how to light up yourself. You learn to how to release your own darkness. So, yeah, you have to embrace everything in life so that way you can gradually move toward to the light and dissipate your own darkness. Is there any more? So balance is the key, not to tip yourself to the extreme side of the scale while you're doing release. Earlier I was like talking to somebody, yeah, you did release something, but you're at the same time substitute with another negative emotion and not realizing it. So while you're doing your releasing, making sure you're not conditioning it in any way. You're not trying to substitute with something like a underlying motivator of why you're releasing that negative feelings. So be mindful of that while you're doing those negative release. Okay, is there any more I need to do for? And this is the annual reading. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. Introspection readings for Roberts, using the Sassy Spirit deck here. Hmm. Astrology isn't a personality disorder. Hmm. I'm also seeing the word zodiac ego crazy here. Hmm. too much into the star or try to find answer through the universe about your life in general, Robert. That's what I'm picking up. But the universe is just saying that you have all the answer within you. You cannot study the universe to study yourself. You really need to study yourself, not the universe. So I hope that makes sense. I feel like perhaps there's a reliance on tools, reliance on informations to try to help yourself. But in fact, you already have all the answers. But the question is, are you willing to face yourself in order to discover those answers about you, right? So that's the general overall idea of this, okay? How this reading is taking. But let me move on to the next one. Clean your wound. That's the message. Huh. Figuratively speaking, I don't know. You really need to organize or you need to declutter your room. But I feel like, yeah, it is dirty, the room. But beyond that, the message of this card is you need to declutter the informations. You need to declutter the human creation. You need to declutter the artificial things in your life. So I hope you're hearing the message here about what it is that you need to declutters, what you need to clean out. I feel like you're under too much beliefs because, oh, I believe this, I believe that, I'm getting this from this and that, or maybe there is some sort of normalization as well. That's what everybody's doing. That mean this thing must be working. Do you see what I mean, Roberts? Was so worried, Robert, about this, you know? So I hope you understand. You cannot just normalize life like this because that's what people are doing. That's what's out there. But who is really Roberts? It's hard for you to discover yourself this way, especially the unknown part of you. That's what I'm getting from your guardian. I mean, your spiritual guardian is saying like you don't want to know the unknown part of you. You could be stuck in this who I am, who I want to be, you know, like from the physical perspective of life, the outside of you, the physical part of living. But what about Robert's soul? What about the Robert's spirit? What about the Robert's emotions? Like what about the Robert's true soul blueprints? I'm talking about your soul DNA here. Robert, your body is just another vessel. You cannot hold on to this vessel forever. But your soul travel through life journey that knows so much. Do you see why you need to focus on your soul but not the physical part of the living? But easily for me to say than for you, but it's up to you to discover the unknown part of you. Be more curious about, why do you think this way? Why do you behave this way? Do you pick up patterns about how you're processing life in general? What does it really tell you about that patterns? What does it say about the way you feel? The feeling part. Are you aware your feeling is like a behind the scene motivator of your everything that you do in life? How are you connecting to that feelings? Is that feeling serving your greatest good or is not serving your greatest good? You have to dive deeper into that unknown part of you. That's what is your guardian is trying to nudge you to help you understand, right? But how are you embracing that journey? That is the tricky part about perhaps you're still embracing through the physical perspective of life. That's what is the culprit of that. And you haven't really in touch with the spiritual perspective of life. So therefore, you need to understand body, mind, heart, and soul. Those four main things are the aspect of your life. Are you integrate all four of them, or are you just so focused on the physical side of it? I'm not saying you look at your image in a obsessive way, but everything like even your mindset is still in the physical perspective of life. The what that drive you, the way you think is your body like taking priorities. You see what I mean? So I hope that that's gonna help you to expand your mindset, expand your attitude, so you're not stuck in. See, and this is the most important part. What you need to clean up, too much information. It's too overwhelming, even though you're not overwhelming, but it is the way you process information, overloading with too much human creation, too much artificial stuff, too much false belief is a huge problems, cause you to get stuck. So let me jump to the next card. Boundary on mean they are spiritual fences. Okay, this is about drawing healthy boundary. I think it's like in order to create this sacred space for you to focus on yourself, to focus on your inside, not the outside of you, not the egoistic self that I'm talking about here. You have this ego, but you also have consciousness. But are you aware you have subconsciousness that really connecting to your soul, to your higher? Yeah, your subconsciousness and higher selves go hand in hand, but you need to realize because of your ego and consciousness keep suppressing your subconsciousness and your soul, so therefore it is hard to connect, so if you can identify how your ego is driving you in your day-to-day life, how it's affect your consciousness, then you can really perhaps lessen that intensity so you can open up to your subconscious side, that which is really connecting to your soul, right? So I hope this help, but it's up to you to discern, not to judge. Okay, judgment is only come your past experiences from all these clutters. Okay, so it's a type of clutters that you need to get rid of. Don't mix the past to become your now and the future. And that's how you open up to possibility. That's how you open up to the unknown side of you. Yeah, draw healthy boundary, but don't use negative emotion to draw boundaries. If you're having fear or you're having need to protect yourself, that is coming from negativities. Do it with universal love. Do it without conditioning. Do it with the pure forms of love that I'm talking about, the unconditional love, okay? To draw boundaries. It is about coming from fears. Fears comes in so many forms, okay? Especially judgment. Judgment, yeah, and fears. They goes together as well. Fear goes with many things as well. So this is the congratulation. You are the drama script. Okay. It's a funny way of expressing it. There's really no drama and there's really no karma. But why is that? You are the drama, you are the karma, because you're the one who creating drama, karma. I think you heard of karma, right? Why you're stuck in karma? Why it's the same time stuck in your own drama? Because of all those clutters. Again, yeah, like you said, you already understand emotional clutter. Emotion, it's another major culprit actually to drive you to do whatever, right? Where you take your life journey to. So, and that's what causing karma, at the same time causing drama in life. So you need to understand that it is self-inflicted. It's what you are inside, and that's what you're going to attract on the outside, and that's how you use your expression to express on the outside as well. So, and that's what this culprit is. Change your inside, then you can change your outside. You cannot just change your outside without changing your inside. So it's a matter of what kind of self transformation you're willing to do. Healthy boundary, right? Decluttering, correct? At the same time, do not codependent on the universe or whatever that tool method you're using that you get from this, okay? So that way you can do something positive about yourself. And it's all stuff from your inside, right? If you're practicing universal love from the inside, guess what? You will attract this universal love energy all around you in your life. Of course, it takes time to get there. I'm not going to say that it's going to happen in days, months, or even years. It could mean lifetime thing, Roberts, okay? Because we are still living in this dark society. We tend to go back to those negative influences because we are interacting with all those darkness around us, okay? But without the darkness, how are you going to find your own light? How are you going to go dive into the unknown to discover who is really Robert? What happened to Robert all this time, right? So at the same time, we need the darkness to understand what can we do to let that go in order to ignite your own light. So I hope that makes sense to you, Robert. And this is the end of your reading. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. Post introspection reading for Tiffany. I'm using the gossip. What's the gossip here? What's gossip oracle here? First one, back secured. Stability. I feel like, is this her goal? Her intention? You desire stability in life, or stability in whatever that life events have in store for you, whatever you're encountering in life, basically. I mean, just a better way of saying it. But you prefer something stable. You don't like ups and downs or extremity in that regard. Or you don't like drama in that regard. Or you don't like troubles and so forth. So I hope that you get the picture. So you're like asking for a stable life, and that's what making you feel good. At the same time that you need to introspect, is that the comfort zone that you're defining in your life through stability, or do you really want to explore your life without such limitations? And I hope that you realize that how you're limiting yourself regarding this, okay? And it's hard for you to see opportunities. It's also hard for you to understand there's so much possibility out there. And I'm not talking about in this human society that I'm talking about. If as long as you are also understanding the universe is so big, are you narrowing yourself in this human society, or are you looking at something beyond that? Okay, that's the possibility that I'm talking about here. The next card is unbother. Detachment from negativities, not my drama. That's the attitude I'm getting here. But are you aware you also have negativities? I think this card is strongly want you to realize that you are practicing negativities like everybody else. Just because the negativities expressed in different formations doesn't mean that you don't have negativities. So, and you need to realize that, you know, yeah, you need to introspect about them, what you need to do about them, how you can release them, so that way you can embrace more love in you instead of judging what's around you. Why not focus on yourself first? Why not have more personal growth in that regard? So this is something for you to introspect on instead of looking at somebody else in that, what do you call that? Unpleasant feelings, okay, toward other people's. The last card said wake up call. Cannot ignore this anymore. That's what this wake up call is. Perhaps you're postponing something in your life. Perhaps you know it deep down inside that you need to make some sort of transformations and you keep postponing it. It keep hunting you over and over and you're not willing to do move on, push it away. She's pushing away. For what? Dismissing it? Oh, busy with other things, so therefore you dismiss it. So your focus are too busy on other things. So yeah, and deep down you inside, I feel like you know what that is, Tiffany. So it's up to you to do positive and even proper self transformation. Put it away and then focus on different tasks in your life or different goal in your life, and that's not gonna help you. You just let it sit, you know, in this a storage space on top of your head, like inside your brain, right, inside your soul. I'm gonna call it inside your soul, right? That's where all the things are coming from. It's from your soul, and you're not realizing you're storing away this trauma that you have. For some reason, you want me to say trauma. Perhaps you do have very specific trauma in your life, and I feel like you know what that is. I feel like this wake up call is about healing. You need to heal. When you don't heal and you keep suppressing it over and over and just focus on something else, it's just gonna keep coming back to you in much higher intensity until you couldn't take it anymore. And that's just something you need to introspect on. I'm glad to end it here for you. May you find life from your spiritual guardian.